Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Natalie and today I'm going to be stitching with you those little cute pumpkin leaves. I also wanted to let you know that my mini pumpkin kit is already available on my Etsy shop and you can get it for yourself if you want to try this little project. And on my previous video we were stitching this pumpkin, and this is my progress from yesterday, and today we're gonna be stitching those leaves. For those leaves we will need only this thread color and another one for darker veins, so probably this color will be also good. So I'm gonna use those two colors. If you don't have variated threads like this, you can use some plain colors like this one, combine it with some another shade, like lighter one. Like you can stitch one half of the pumpkin leaf with a darker color, and you can stitch another half of the leaf with a lighter color, and it will create some dimension. So yeah, let's start stitching. I will turn this hoop upside down, because this way you will look at the pumpkin leaf from the top to the bottom. They are like turned backwards in the project, so this is how I will be stitching, so you guys will see the pumpkin leaf from the proper perspective, like kinda like that. I'm gonna use 3 strands of floss, and I will pick the piece of thread that goes from the lighter shades and it transitions to the darker shade like this. I will show you the entire floss in a minute. So this is how it looks like. So this is the darker part and medium colors, and it goes into the lighter color. I will make a note on the part with the lightest color. I use a medium size needle, so I simply make a knot. Let me turn on the... Okay. So I will stitch this big leaf right now, and I will start from the central part and I will move to the left. In my stitching instructions you will find stitch direction guidelines. There is a page with those guidelines, and you can print it. Sorry, that was my cat. And you can print that page right away, or you can, if you are transferring your pattern with hands, you can skip this part and you just look at that instruction, and from there you can have an idea where you should go with your stitches. So basically this is how it should look like. The stitch direction depends on the direction of the depends on the leaf shape, so you go and change it depending on the leaf shape. And usually how I do it, I stitch with the satin stitch the entire leaf, and then I add all those leaf veins. But if you think that those leaf veins will be lost after you will be you will be done with stitching of satin stitch, you can start from the stitching the veins first, and then you can fill the leaf around those veins. So there are two ways. I will start with the satin stitch like I usually do first, and then you will see if you can do it too. And later I will stitch one leaf and start stitching it from the leaf veins. So that's basically the same satin stitch like I did for the pumpkins, but sometimes you need to change the stitch direction, and that's it. I started from the top of the leaf. I like to do it this way for leaves, but if you want to start from another place, from the left side for example, feel free to try it and compare which way is the most comfortable for you. I like multicolored threads because they change the color and all the colors are in the same color family, and it looks like more natural for the leaves and petals. Hi Christina! Oh my god, thank you so much, Christina. Usually I don't do outlines for the leaf, but if you want to, you can do it. Usually leaves, they don't have like really sharp edges. They can be like a little bit juggling on the edge, so I don't really worry about that. Thank you so much, Christine. You are too kind to me. So basically when you finish, you should be able to see where your veins goes, because I finished my stitch, my satin stitch on the veins lines, so you should be able to see it. But if your stitches, they go in a different direction, so yeah, you might be lost a little bit. I really love how your project looks like, Christina. You use your own threads, and yeah, you add a little bit of vibe of Brazilian embroidery style. I really love it. If you want to see Christina's progress, she already posted a picture on our Discord chat where we all can connect and share our progress, ask questions. All the members of my stitching club, we have a Discord chat. See, right now my thread started changing the color, and I really love how it looks, especially for leaves. It's like watercolor. So if you were thinking how to use those funny embroidery threads which have different colors, there are different ways how to use them. I use them very often in my projects. So my plan is to finish stitching the leaf, the half of the leaf here, and right now I have a slightly darker color. It's like a medium color from this skein, and I will be jumping, sorry, so I will be jumping from here to the top of the leaf, and I will be continuing stitching the rest with the rest part of the thread, and it will go from this medium color here to the darker, into the darker shade, and it should create a really nice effect. Instead of making a long thread, I will be making short stitches right here, and then I can jump to the top of the leaf, to the sharp point. Yeah, with variegated thread, you need to plan your strategy a little bit, so you like think ahead of time, where you will go, what is your pathway, and where the color is going to be changed, but it all comes with practice. It comes with practice. The more you use those variated threads, the more you understand how much of this thread you need for the object, when is going to be the time and place where this color is going to be changed. I feel like you, Christina, will finish your embroidery very soon, much earlier than me. But I'm really glad that you are stitching it with me. I can't wait to see how the finished project will look like. It's so colorful. You know, I probably try to use some calm, natural colors, but you like some bright colors, and it looks very beautiful. Okay, now I see that my thread I will be running out of thread soon, and I will cut the piece of the thread which goes from the darker shade, and then it goes to the lighter shade. So because I need this transition to be soft. Hi Evan. Yeah, I remember when I started stitching with variated threads, I stitched that blue rose. It was a long time ago, like about 6 years ago. And I jumped right into the thread painting right away. and I had two skeins of floss. It was green variated thread and blue variated threads, and I stitched a rose, blue rose, using only those variated threads. I will find that picture and I will send it on Discord so you could see it. It turned out really great. I used only one strand of floss, and I was just jumping into different places depending on how my thread color changes. So that was my my logic, how I stitched it. So I'm starting a new thread right now, and I make a knot on the part with the darker color. You can start stitching with the lightest shade from here, and then you move here, here and here, and continue stitching with the same thread until this point. That's how I did it for the previous project, and this is how it looks like. So I started from the lightest shade and I finished with the darker on another side of the leaf, and it also looks nice. This time I tried to do it another way, and it also nice. So both ways are great. I like that in hand embroidery you don't have any rules, like, you know, you can choose. You can think and do it your way. Yeah, I will definitely need a darker shade for the veins from the separate skein, because it should look different from this darkest color from my skein. I think you can hear the sound of my laptop right now. I tried to put it far away from the microphone, but it's like it's like working like crazy right now. It's an old laptop and it's 10. I bought it 10 years ago, so I'm hoping to buy a new one maybe someday. And that's why I want to say a big thank you to all my patrons, because thanks to your support I can buy new equipment, and from time to time I need to renew old equipment. And I really appreciate your support. So when you make a turn, you can put your needle into the same place where you have been right here, and you create like a V shape. So that's how you can turn your satin stitch into slightly different direction. And that's create a beautiful shape of the leaf. So especially here you can see how I was turning the thread, and I made like V shape, you know. When I want to make a turn, I make 2 stitches and this direction, and I put my needle in the same place from time to time in the center of the leaf, so I can make a turn. So I will park my thread for later, and I will do the leaf vein right now. Hi Lindsay, good morning. Oh, good morning from Australia. It's good evening in Canada, almost. But thank you so much for joining. And Christina said that your designs are amazing for me to express my creativity. Love it, even in color palette I have a very personal preference of color and love mixed variated threads with solid colors. Yeah, I love it too. So I will use this thread color. This is darker than all the colors in this leaf, and I will create a leaf vein. And I will use only 2 strands. Oh, and Lindsay told that it's so inspiring. I hope I inspired you to stitch this vegetable garden with me. Okay, I'm threading 2 strands. Oops. And I will start stitching with the loop on the back side. So I just go through from the back to the top. I don't go completely. I have a loop on the back side, and I keep it with my hand, and I make a stitch like this. And on the back side I just go through this loop with my needle, and it will secure my thread. And it's a nice way to start a thread without any knots. So I will use stem stitch for all the veins. For the stem stitch, you just make a stitch. It's a long one, like I did for the satin stitch, and I come up in the middle of this stitch right here. And I keep the loop with my hand, like this. I keep this loop until I come up again in the middle, where I just finished the previous stitch, and now I finish the stitch in this place. And one more vein right here. And one more tip for the stem stitch, I always keep my loop outside of the curve. If I have a curved shape, I keep this loop outside of the curve, so my stitches, they lay down nicely. So this is probably the last stitch. Maybe one more, a little bit closer to the edge of the leaf, but as you can see, I don't go exactly into the edge of the leaf. I leave a little space right here. I just love how the leaf looks like this way. So that's it for this leaf. I will switch the hoop to the back side to finish the threads, and I will start another leaf, probably this one, small one, just to show you how you can do it another way, where you start from the veins first and then you fill with satin stitch. Okay, this is the back of my hoop. As you can see, I have a lot of threads hanging here unfinished, and I will finish those threads so I can start in another place. I don't really like jumping into far away from here. I like to keep the back side of my embroidery projects clean. So I went through the previous stitches and I made a loop, and I go through this loop. And I also like to hide my thread ends, so I go under the stitches about 1 centimeter long to hide the end of this knot. And now I can cut really close. So this is the place where I started my thread, and this is a knot. I did it for beginners, and just to show you how your back side will look like if you will start from the knot. If you have like a slightly transparent fabric, this knot will be visible slightly from the front because it's like outside of the object. And if you start with knots, it's better to start somewhere in the middle of the object, but then this knot will be like interfere with your other stitches. You will be accidentally going through this knot, so that's why I don't like starting from the knot. But I just did it for you guys, for beginners. Maybe you will see how it looks like and why it's not really good. And I can show you, if you didn't see it yet, maybe you are new here, how to start the thread without knots. Just in a minute I will finish this thread too. See, those knots will interfere with your stitches. all the time. So this way it's probably almost impossible to figure out where you just started. Okay, I will thread this darker part of the thread which I will use for the leaf veins. But first I will hide this little thread. I will finish it so it will not interfere with my stitches. Oh, Evan said that I think I'm going to buy a Brazilian roses pattern and see what I can make with a portrait of my sister's cat for her birthday in January. But I'll have to see if it will work with it. Yeah, you can align those rose flowers around the portrait of the pet, like somewhere on the bottom, on the left, or on both sides. And yeah, it will create the illusion that the flowers are like on the top, on the front, and the pet is hiding in the in the bush with roses. Yeah, it's a nice idea. It can work, I think. If you want, I can help you with that to place those objects around the pet. Just let me know. Okay, so I return my hook back, and this time we will start from the veins. So when you use 2 strands, you can start from the loop like I did, or you can start close to the place where you will be starting stitching, and you can make a running stitch. In this area it will be covered with my satin stitches in future, so I can do it right here. So instead of making a knot, you can start it this way, splitting my previous stitch, and I go back here and I'm splitting it again. And now I start stitching the vein using the stem stitch. And we will stitch the vein on the left and on the right side. Okay, I'm parking this thread on another side for later, and I'm switching to the DMC 92. And I have a piece of thread from the previous leaf, and it goes from the medium green to the lightest green. So I will start with the lightest, and then when I will start a new thread, it's gonna be a darker part, or you can start a new thread if you want and choose the colors that you want to start from. So with 3 strands of loss you can also start without a knot the same way like I did just previously. This way you do it more in a professional way, you know. If you're a beginner and it's too overwhelming for you, just ignore it and start with a knot, just like you used to do. So this way I will show you how to start the leaf from the left side, and I will be moving to the right. So I start here. And now I see that I need to make a turn, so I go into the same place where I did the previous stitch. You can do it 2 times or you can do it 3 times until you get the right angle. And when I go inside the leaf, so I come up on the edge and I go inside and I go really close to this vein, but I'm not splitting this way. I need to so this way should stay visible, because when I will be splitting this way it will be like disappearing and I will need to stitch it again at the end. So I just go really close to it, so I don't have any gaps between the satin stitch and the stem stitch that I just did. So this approach is also good. I do it sometimes, but in most of the cases I just know where my leaf veins should go. But if it's a problem for you, this is a nice way for you to stitch leaves. Let me know in the comments which way would you choose for yourself. And if you use variated threads or just plain colors, let me know. It can be interesting to discuss. So now I will hide all those starting the thread from the previous color, and it's gonna be all hidden under my satin stitch. If you accidentally splitted this leaf vein and it's not visible anymore, you can go back and return to this color and stitch it on top of everything, but this should be still visible for you, so you shouldn't be lost and know for sure where those vein lines should go to. If you make a little gap between your stitches, like here, you can always return and make one more stitch between them, and it will fill this space. Yeah, one more last stitch and this leaf is done. So this is another way how you can stitch the pumpkin leaves. And we also have here those curled elements like this, and I like to stitch them with lighter and medium colors. Let me start a new thread and I will show you how to stitch them. You can stitch them with stamp stitch or whipped back stitch. I will take 2 strands . Okay, I have 2 strands and I don't have a loop on this side, so I will stitch this curl with stamp stitch, and I will start my thread from this leaf, which is close to this place, and I will start it without knots in this place, and it will be covered by satin stitches later. And I do it because there is a really small space between those 2 objects to jump, and my thread is light, so it's not going to be visible from the front. And I will start it from here, and it's gonna be a stamp stitch. And I keep my loop outside of the curve. And then when I'm crossing this line, I just go on top of it, and it will create an illusion that this curve is like volumetric. So that's it, how you can make those curves. You can choose a slightly darker color, I can say. So maybe I will redo it and do it with a slightly darker color, like a medium shade, like this one, which goes to the darker one. Yeah, it will depend on the color of your fabric, and if it's not really visible, if you use the lightest color, so you can just do it another way. So now I will finish my threads on the back side, and I will show you how you can stitch this pumpkin tail in another way. Just wanted to show you how you can do it in more a little bit advanced way comparing to this one. I will cut it close without finishing because I will probably undo this later and stitch it with darker color. Okay, for those pumpkins, let me see if you will see it. No, I will probably move this to the top like I did previously, because my camera it will not be visible. So I will move it to the top. Like it was before. So yeah, when you use 2 layers of fabric, it's important to make sure that it's stretched on the back side as well, the same way like you stretched your fabric on the top. Because the bottom layer of the fabric can create you a little wrinkles. So I stretch it separately as well. And make sure there is no wrinkles on the back side as well. So now you should see, the pumpkin. Okay, so for the pumpkin tail, I'm gonna use 2 colors. This is a color from the previous one, and I will add probably the darker color. This one or this one. No, not this one, definitely. Maybe this one, or I have also this color. Maybe this combination will look nice. I'm not sure. Let me see what I have. This is too yellow. I will try those two and I will see how it looks like. I will start with this one. And I have 2 threads here. And yeah, I'm gonna use 2 strands of floss. No, it's not 2, it's 3. But I will need only 2 strands, so I will remove another one. I will start with a knot this time, so just it's gonna be easier for me. And I will just start from the left, and I will be making stem stitch. This is how it should look. And my strategy is to, I don't know, to add one line of the stem stitch with this color, and then I'm switching to another one. I want also to see how thick this line is gonna look like. And if it's possible for me to stitch between. Yes, I can see that it's possible. So this is how I'm gonna do. I will remove this because yeah, I decided to start with the dark color first. I will stitch all the lines for those which are in the pattern, and then between those lines I will stitch with this lighter color, and it should look more natural. Let me try it. See, right now I'm just trying to improvisation. It's just an improvisation, but as a result you will see how it's gonna look like, and you will be able to decide if you want to do the same way, or if you will go with your own way. Maybe you will suggest some better solution to that, so I'm open for your suggestions. Feel free to comment under this video and let me know which you decide. If you decided to do this way or this way. I'm just curious. I'm just plain, and if I don't like it, I will just stitch it with satin stitch, and that's it. I'm changing the direction where I keep my loop, if you may notice, because of the shape of this part. If it goes to the right side, I was keeping the loop on this side. If it goes to the left, I was keeping the loop on the left side. So this is how I did it, and yeah, I'm jumping here and I do the outline for this part. My thread became twisted, so I'm just brushing it this way so it's not twisted anymore. I guess that those pumpkins are the most complicated part of this design. I don't know, maybe there will be something complicated with the sunflowers, but it shouldn't look scary. Just try it and do it. Let me know, guys, if it was too complicated for you. I'm trying to do it as simple as it's possible. You can also do those lines with a split stitch if you wish. It looks like a cartoon. I probably definitely like it this way. More than satin stitch, it looks more detailed, it looks more realistic. So in this place I like it more when it's like split stitch, because it's more comfortable to do it with a split stitch. So you just choose the way you like it to do, and switch from the stem stitch to split stitch depending on the shapes that you need to make. And so that's how I did it. And now I will go and switch to the lighter color, and I will fill all the spaces between those lines. So I will go between. So I went close to this line, and now I have a little gap here, and I fill it with a satin stitch. Just a few stitches left to make to fill this area. It looks a bit cartoonish, a bit dark. So I don't know, let me know how you like it. I'm just playing with that, and if I will like it, I will leave it as it is. If I will not like it, I will just cut it and maybe change the colors. Maybe the colors are too dark. So now I will go up. kind of like it. I think this pumpkin stem would look much better if my pumpkin was also outlined with some darker orange color, like almost brown color or reddish orange. So it would probably look more consistent with this kind of style. So if you like it, definitely go with this version and outline the pumpkin too. So that's my opinion. Let me know, guys, what do you think in the comments later when you will be watching this video. So I think this is a nice way to make it, and you saw that I spent some time. Yeah, it's a little bit time consuming to complete this teeny part, but it's possible to make it so much detailed and delicate that it definitely worth it. So now I see that there are some gaps and I will fill them with small stitches, and yeah, I think that I like it. And I will leave it, and maybe I will redo this part. I will remove this part and I will do it the same way like I did it here, because I want those two pumpkins to look consistent as a result. So this is how it looks. I hope you like this project as much as I do, and if you're stitching it with me, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in my next tutorial. In my next video I will be stitching those flowers that are on the left and on the right side. This is kind of like a Hinacea flower. Do you know this kind of lazy daisies that are blooming in the autumn? And they are like, they have this color. I will be stitching it with a combination of those two colors. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video tutorial on Friday at 4 p.m. as the same way like I did today. Okay, thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye. Oh, Carol, nice to meet you on my live stream. Long time no see. Okay, Evan thinks that the contrast looks nice, but you could take one strand of medium brown and add a few stitches between the colors of better blend. Yeah, maybe it's not the best and not the perfect combination for this white. Looks pretty dark, but I don't know. I will see. I will think about it and I will let you know in my next video how I ended up finishing this, okay? Thank you guys. Bye, till the next time.